Well, folks, Judge Aileen Cannon did the dirty deed. She dismissed the classified documents case against Orangina. Poof! Ixnay out they. Yeah, riding on the incredibly partisan and wildly overreaching coattails of Clarence Big C. Thomas, Judge Cannon basically said, this is a bad case because Jack Smith is a meanie and he never asked Mother May I before he started picking on Orangina for having a poor filing system for his stolen classified documents. Yeah, Aileen is not one for messy, which is odd because she's been messy all along in her handling of this case. Well, as you might remember, Judge Aileen Cannon is a Trump-appointed judge. He fancied her because of her membership to the Federalist Society, where all appearances of impartiality go to die. Cannon has been excoriated throughout the trial for making all kinds of cray-cray rulings that have no precedent in real, actual, non-make-believe law. She also stalled the case at every turn, and she practically played handmaiden for the defense while being openly hostile toward the prosecution throughout the fits and starts trial. I guess if SCOTUS can show voracious partisanship, then it's only fair for all judges to follow suit. Well, as we all know, Trump was charged last year with taking classified and top-secret documents with him when he left the White House, and then engaging in some shady shenanigans to hide said documents from investigators. Who are we to judge, though, right? Maybe Trump was planning a staycation and he just wanted to make sure he had some light reading material for his trips to the bathroom, or the ballroom, or the broom closet, or the bedroom, or the shower, or the private plane. Totally understandable. Well, in a nutshell, the FBI got a search warrant to search Mar-a-Lago for stolen documents in August of 2022. Shortly after, Judge Cannon issued an order barring the U.S. government from further review and use of any of the materials seized from Mar-a-Lago for criminal investigative purposes. Of course, this was an unprecedented and super weird move, so it was reversed by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit. But Cannon wasn't having the whole follow the rules and look like you know what you're doing protocol. So next, she granted Trump's request to appoint a special master to review the documents before they could be examined by the Justice Department. Even Bill Barr broke unethical tradition in calling the move deeply flawed, to which Cannon said, hold my beer, and appointed special master Raymond Dearie. And then she tossed out a bunch of his proposals because she liked what Trump's lawyers were putting down way more than boring Raymond's proper goody two-shoes crap. Well, the appeals court was like, what? Slow your roll, mama. And they told Cannon she should stand down from the case, saying she had improperly exercised equitable jurisdiction. Smackdown, right? Well, Cannon's not one to take her ball and go home, so she thumbed her nose at the appeals court and ordered her clerk to bake oatmeal raisin cookies for the defense. I added that last part, but it definitely fits the picture. Well, Pissy Cannon continued her biased little foxtrot, and she slow-walked pre-trial motions and then put the whole trial on hold so Schlumper could catch up on some sleep and not worry about piddly justice and the rule of law. Plus, who knows? Maybe she wanted to get her drinks comped the next time she stayed at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, 2 years is a long time to drag out a case, so Aileen must have been weary after all those diversion tactics. And after all that, who better to come to her rescue than Big C. Clarence Thomas, driver of gifted RV vehicles, bedfellow of billionaire power players who buy influence, and purveyor of selective legal reasoning, i.e. the kind that owns the libs. Thomas sent up a flare for Cannon in the presidential immunity ruling that effectively crowned Orangina a king with protections no American has had, ever. Clarence challenged the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith, stating that the special counsel's office needs to be established by Congress and that Smith needed to be confirmed by the Senate. Big C wrote, there were serious questions about whether the Attorney General has violated that structure by creating an office of special counsel that has not been established by law. Those questions must be answered before this prosecution can proceed. Game on, thought Cannon. What could go wrong with the Big C in your corner? So she went big and tossed out the whole kit and caboodle based on procedural grounds. Easy peasy, no need to rule on merits. Who needs to know if it's cool to smuggle the nation's nuclear secrets out of the Oval Office? Not Cannon, that's for sure. She was home by dinner with a nice Chianti. Well, Noah Rosenblum, a professor at NYU's School of Law, called the ruling bonkers and said Aileen was just making things up, which of course is right on brand for SCOTUS, because they just made shit up to make Trump a king, so The good news is all might not be lost. I mean, it probably is, because pretty much every check and balance of late has basically all been lost, but just so the American people don't turn into heavy day drinkers over our corrupt courts, we can all hang on to the possibility that Jack Smith could ask the appeals court to reassign the case to a new judge, maybe even one who doesn't seem to be besties with all the felons' men. I guess we'll have to wait and see whether Orangina's remarkable run on all things illegal keeps on keeping on, and whether the next arbiter of justice decides to do their job, or blow it off to bake cookies for a monster. Well, Judge Aileen Cannon, have a day. Have a day.